We see so many women asking, will I ever feel normal and healthy again? The perimenopause and menopause journey can be so hard on women. Yes, it's natural. Yes, it can be wonderful. But yes, the symptoms are really hard to manage sometimes, and it can totally change the way you think and feel about yourself. And in general, it can make you feel pretty crummy and like you're almost sickly. So let's talk about how long perimenopause and menopause last and what you can kind of expect at each stage so that you have an idea of what to expect when you're not expecting and how long this is going to last and when you can start to expect to feel normal. So let's talk about perimenopause first, because perimenopause comes before menopause. Literally, it means around menopause. Perimenopause lasts on average 4 to 8 years, but for some women, it can last maybe just a year or two before they actually hit menopause, or it can span a decade. It's very individualized. If you want an idea of what your perimenopause experience may be like, you can certainly talk to a close female relative, say your mother or sisters or aunts if you have any. They can offer some insight into their experience because a lot of women share similarities with their family members. Now, perimenopause is basically a time when your estrogen and progesterone levels are fluctuating rapidly. Your ovaries start to decline. So once you reach menopause, your ovarian function is basically non-existent. And you don't need them anymore because you're not releasing eggs for ovulation. You're kind of done with that phase. And for some women, that can be a very joyful process, or they can just feel ready. And some women can be really sad about it too. So not only are there these physical symptoms that accompany these hormone changes, but there's also the emotional side of going through a major life change. Now, there are 34 symptoms that are associated with perimenopause, and they can range from physical symptoms, mental symptoms, and even painful symptoms. So knowing what symptoms you can expect and what are related to hormone changes can be a really great way to get an idea of why you're feeling unhealthy and if it's related to perimenopause as opposed to another health condition. So now let's talk about menopause, because perimenopause again is on average 4 to 8 years before you actually reach menopause. Menopause is defined as when a woman has been period-free for at least 12 months. So that means no spotting, no one random period back in June or whatever. It means that you have not had any periods for 12 months. Most women reach that phase at around age 51. That's just an average though. Some women can reach it even as early into their 40s and even into their 60s. Again, 51 is just an average. Also, once again, you can definitely talk to your mother or sisters to see if when they reach menopause, because again, a lot of women will mimic their mothers when they reach menopause. Now, the menopause stage is kind of defined as 3 to 5 years after you have reached your final menstrual period. And in that time, your hormone levels are not fluctuating as rapidly as they were. But women still have symptoms that they may have experienced during perimenopause. And again, that's caused by very low estrogen levels. So women in menopause commonly experience hot flashes, insomnia, fatigue, night sweats, and they can certainly suffer from vaginal dryness, loss of libido, and furthermore, you're at greater risk for certain health conditions related to low estrogen like osteoporosis. So when you reach menopause, you really, if you haven't been feeling well, you might not feel or start feeling better right away. Usually women start to feel better once they're a couple of years out from their last menstrual period. That's when you're considered postmenopausal. During postmenopause, most women can say goodbye to the hot flashes and night sweats, but they still have lingering symptoms such as vaginal dryness. Now that's again just because the ovaries are no longer producing estrogen. But in general, women start to feel better in postmenopause, which is such a relief because there is light at the end of the tunnel. Now, if you're not feeling well at any point in your menopause journey, it's really important to talk to your doctor. There are solutions. There's hormone replacement therapy, there's cognitive behavioral therapy if you're struggling with anxiety, there's supplements, there's exercises, there's so many things. Just make sure to know that you are not alone, and yes, you will start feeling better eventually.